Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am very excited to be on this call. First of all, I just want to welcome everyone. This is Asad Ali, co-founder and chairman of NeX Protect. And I'm going to introduce you today to one of our services called NeX Protect. NeX Protect is NeX one of very own services, and what we offer under NeX Protect is life insurance cover, critical illness cover, income protection cover. These are the first three services we will be offering under NeX Protect with our partner WealthMax Financial Advisors Limited, and I will be going through the details shortly. But these are the three services we'll be launching on day one, as well as we are working tirelessly to launch our fourth service as well under NeX Protect with our partner, which is Wills and Estate Planning. Now, when it comes to BV, business volumes, depends on the premium customer pays. 45% of the premium paid by the customer will be allocated as BV to your business. Now, BV allocation will happen after the first direct debit of the customer. So if you acquired a customer being an IBO in the month of November, and customer decided or chose his first direct or her first direct debit date to be 3rd of December, your BV will only be allocated in the month of December after the first direct debit for the maximum of 24 months. Now, under NeX Protect, we will be acquiring customers. We'll be providing services on the behalf of three companies with our partner, WealthMax. Those three companies will be Royal London, Vitality Life, and Zurich. Now, for you to acquire customers, the first thing you need to do, being an IBO, go to your NeX website. You click on shop. Now, when you click on shop, it will show you all the services we offer in the country you are in. So, for example, United Kingdom. If you click on NeX Protect, that will take you to the do's and don'ts page, so you understand what you should do or shouldn't do while promoting the service under NeX Protect. Now you agree to the terms and conditions. After reading them, you click on order now. Once you click on order now, it will redirect you to NeX Protect's website. Now on NeX Protect's website, there's a tab called Get a Quote. Now when you click there, it will bring you to this lead form. Now you need to fill up customers' personal details so our partner WealthMax Financial Advisors can contact your customer and provide them the quote they need. So you fill up the basic details of the customer, such as title, first name, last name, middle name, if there is any, date of birth. You click on continue, then annual income of your customer. Now that will help WealthMax and their consultants when they're providing the code to make sure that they provide the right level of cover to your customer. The next thing you need is their address. Now, after address, you will have to ask some questions which will help the consultant from WealthMax to make sure they provide the right level of cover. So the first question is, do you have a mortgage? That will impact the mortgage. That will impact the insurance policy, having a mortgage or not. And the next question is, what are the products customers interested in? So again, you have life insurance, you have critical illness, you have income protection. You can have one, you can have two, you can be interested in all of them. Then, are you a smoker? Now, this is very important that you just don't randomly answer this question. You ask the customer, get the right information. Again, with their consent, you pass it over to WealthMax through your NeX Protect website, just to make sure that you understand that being a smoker or not being a smoker will impact their insurance premium, even though the level of cover they need is still the same. Then the gender. And after the gender, there will be some other details, which are contact details. It's very important when you're filling this information up, make sure you have the right and correct mobile number of the customer, the exact email address, and make sure when you're entering the email address, it's not your email address, it's customer's email address, because the only way our partner and their consultants can contact your customer if you have filled up the right information. So you need to make sure you have correct mobile number, you have correct email address. And the next question is, are you married? Now, this will help our partners and their team to make sure that if the spouse of the customer needs cover as well. Again, remember anything. So let's say if you submitted the lead on the behalf of customer and customer got a spouse, if that spouse will go under the policy or will go for their own policy, you will be compensated. Your BV will still be allocated. Then the last and the most important thing in this lead form is your business ID. The only way WealthMax knows that this customer came through NeX Protect, or NeX Protect knows this customer came through you being an IBO, is your IBO business ID. So make sure you enter your correct business ID so we can make sure that when the customer goes live after the first direct debit, your BV can be allocated to your business so you can rank up the compensation plan. Now, what I will do is I will play a short video. It will help you understand how NeX Protect works. and who's our partner, as well as you can use this as a peeking tool to show your customer what NeX Protect is and what we do and what services our partner is providing. So I'll play this video, and right after this video, we'll continue.
Did you know that 1 in 2 people in the UK will get cancer at some point in their lives? In fact, 6,900 people in the UK will be diagnosed this week alone. Did you know that every 5 minutes someone in the UK has a stroke? Every 7 minutes someone in the UK has a heart attack? In fact, studies show that 1 in 4 men and 1 in 5 women are affected by critical illness before they reach retirement age. Gets you thinking, doesn't it? Everything seems so distant until it happens to you or someone you love. So why take the risk of not being protected? Introducing to you NeX Protect in partnership with WealthMax. WealthMax are experts in financial services protection products who are regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Just last year alone, WealthMax have sold over £1 billion worth of life insurance and critical illness cover. They currently help over 500 new families every month get protected with their bespoke covers. Through your NeX Protect website, you are now able to connect your customers to WealthMax so that they can get cover for life insurance, critical illness cover, and income protection. So what is life insurance? It's a type of policy that protects your loved ones with financial cover if you die. It can help minimize the financial impact that your death could have on your family and offer peace of mind to those who you care about the most. So what is income protection insurance? Income protection insurance pays you a regular income if you can't work because of sickness or disability and continues until you return to paid work or you retire. So what is critical illness cover? Critical illness cover is a type of insurance that pays out a tax-free lump sum of money if you are diagnosed with or undergo surgery for a specific critical illness. It helps to support you and your loved ones financially if you've been diagnosed with a specific condition. All you have to do is submit the simple lead form from your NeX Protect website, and an insurance expert will contact your customer and give them a free, tailor-made consultation based on their needs. Insurance is no longer a luxury, but a necessity. Get protected with WealthMax in partnership with NeX Protect.
So WealthMax Financial Advisors Limited, they are our partners with NeX Protect. They're FCA regulated as well as NeX Protect. And we have 2 of their directors on this call today. But before I introduce you to the directors, I want to give you a bit of background about WealthMax Financial Advisors. So WealthMax has been in the business for almost, well, they founded this company in 2016. And since then, they've been in this industry, worked with over 70. They have a team of almost 70 advisors working, all across the UK, helping people get the cover and get their families protected as well. So imagine just in last year under WealthMax, they sold over $1 billion worth of cover, protecting families every single day. And today we have both of them on this call. And I imagine there's one thing common between NextArise co-founders, myself and 2 other founders, and WealthMax founders. They have almost 30 years of experience in the field. So imagine both of the founders, before starting their own company and being directly authorized by Financial Conduct Authority, FCA, they've been in this industry, worked with some big names, big companies, and they have this 30 years of experience. So, we have both of them today on this call. So the first person I want to introduce today on this call is a very good friend of mine. When we came in this partnership, he was the person, initially we started this conversation, had some great I've personally learned a lot about insurance from this gentleman as well. Incredible human being. So today we have him on this call. His name is Raja Kanaka Medala. So Raja, if you can introduce yourself to everyone on this call.
Very good evening, Asad, and hello, NextArise. Very good evening to everyone. On behalf of WealthMax and NeX Protect team, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. My name is Raja Kanaka Medala, and I joined the protection industry back in 2005. Worked with brands like ING, MetLife, and Allianz. And at the moment, I work as a director for WealthMax Financial Advisors Limited. We are directly authorized by Financial Conduct Authority. And thanks for this great opportunity. And when we, especially Asad, Liju, I know them since 2012. And Ahmad Mukhtar, I know him since 2014. What a great gentleman he is. And in fact, on the toughest days when things go tough, I watch your guys' videos, your founders' videos to get motivated. So it's a great honor for us and WealthMax to join the team and help you guys in this journey. Great. Hello, guys, please.
Hey, Raja, it's a pleasure working with you as well, and I appreciate your kind words. I have few questions, Raja, when it comes to insurance industry. Personally, myself, I do have insurance life cover for myself, and I want to ask some questions so everyone on this call understand how insurance works. So the first question, if you can help everyone understand, how important do you think insurance is today in current world, especially in the current circumstances?
Guys, it's very important to consider protection in the current conditions, especially during the COVID time. And it is important when you have financial dependence or when you have an outstanding mortgage, just in case if someone is critically ill, or for example, if you lose your job due to any sickness or accident, these are the positions where protection is of great help. So it's a time to consider. And yeah, this is a good opportunity to consider at this point. Yeah.
Perfect, Raja. So if I need cover today and I don't have mortgage, do you really think being a homeowner, do you think I will need insurance?
Every individual, depending on the requirement, need protection. For example, if I'm single, I think I'm not married, but I'm working, I need to protect my income. So income protection would be a good bet. If I'm an individual, if at all I get critically ill, I need to have critical protection. And if I have financial dependence, again, in order to protect the dependents, I need to have life cover. So it depends on the requirements. Definitely, if someone comes to either of these lines, they should consider protection.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And my next question will be, so let's say if I have family, so let's say if I'm married, I have kids, if I want to include my entire family under the same policy, is that possible, or there are other options I will have to go with?
You could definitely consider your spouse for life cover. And if your kids are below the age of 18 or below the age of 21, you can definitely add them in critical illness, right?
Okay, so that means that I cannot include my kids who are under 18 within my life insurance, but spouse can be added. Is that right?
Okay, in the same policy, that's right. And because once they cross the age of 18, they can have their own life insurance policy.
So again, you answered my another question. I will have to be at least 18 years old for me to get insurance cover. Is that correct?
That's right.
Perfect. Raja, my next question will be, what is the difference between term time and whole of life insurance? And also, which of them will be offered under NeX Protect channel through WealthMax Financial Advisors?
Excellent. This is not the first one whom you have asked me, to be honest with you guys. Term cover means the cover is offered for a specific period. For example, 25 years or until his 65th birthday or until his 70th birthday. It's at a specified time. When it comes to whole of life, the claim arises whenever the death arises. It doesn't have a specified period for whole of life. At NeX Protect, we do term policies with a specified time period. Thank you.
Perfect. So term time means I, as a customer, can choose that if I need the cover for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and I can go with any of the terms and I can cancel any time as well. Let's say if I feel in 10 years time, I don't need this cover, can I choose to cancel?
Definitely, Asad. When you get a Euro million or when you become into billionaire club or millionaire club in NeX Rise, you can do that.
Perfect. I appreciate that. Okay, so next question I will have is, let's say if I'm an IBO and I have a customer who don't speak English. Now, if I need that person to be covered, what will be the process? So let's say if I submitted the lead on our NeX Protect lead form, WealthMax received that lead, what will be the process for non-English speakers?
Okay, we have a process in place for that, and our team would do the necessary process required with the translator in place. Not to worry about that.
So the customer will have to arrange their translator?
No, from WealthMax, we would arrange it as financial advisors. We will arrange the translator and the required compliance requirements. So that would be from NeX Protect and WealthMax.
Perfect. So Raja, my next question will be, who will bear the cost of that translator? Will that be passed over to the customer, or WealthMax will take care of that?
As financial advisors, we take care of that.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that. Now, the next question is, will the customer have to be submitted via the lead page or lead form we have on NeX Protect's website, or can the lead be processed over the phone as well?
Okay. At the moment, our process support the lead generation pattern only. So it should be supported through lead generation way.
So if as an IBO, I want my customer to receive a call through the consultants of WealthMax Financial Advisors, I have to make sure I submit the lead through the NeX Protect's lead form.
That's right.
Perfect. So Raja, my next question will be, if I have a customer and let's say 6th month or the 8th month, their debit bounce for whatever reason, what is the process? What happens with the customer?
Excellent. That's a very good, valid question. Guys, the systems and controls are in place. We are working very actively with the providers. The fastest we get the information, our consultants will be in touch with the customer and will make every effort and inform the customer and ensure that his cover is in place as per customer requirements. So that on the service front, you can just rely on us, and that service will be provided by our consultants.
Perfect. Raja, so because I'm a life insurance customer myself, I do understand how life insurance works. But what I didn't know before having the conversation with yourself and your other partner, I didn't understand the difference between income protection and critical illness. If you can share with everyone on this call, what exactly the difference is in between income protection cover and critical illness.
Good. That's a great question. Income protection basically covers you for any type of sickness or any type of accident. It protects your loss of pay, right? It roughly covers 60% of your gross income, right? Whereas critical illness means if you're diagnosed with critical illness and that illness is specified in the definitions of the policy, you are covered for a lump sum. That's the difference.
So Raja, let's say if I went with critical illness cover, I'm a fit and healthy man. 3 days later or 4 days later, God forbid, I was diagnosed with something. I didn't have no pre-existing, any of the symptoms, but on the 3rd day of the policy or the 5th day of the policy, something happened. Again, you know, life happens to everyone. So will I be covered even though it was 3 days after, again, considering the fact I didn't have any pre-existing symptoms?
Yeah, once the policy is issued, you are covered from the very moment until the whole term or the period of the policy. Yes, that's right. You are covered.
Perfect. So my next question is, again, because I had to go through a certain process, you know, most people do understand that if someone is in younger age, is pretty straightforward, depends on the level of cover they are going for. But if someone is above 50 or above 60, or they have some sort of underlying, health issues, for them to get their life covered, there is a process in place, and it can go under through medical underwriting. So I just want you to shed a bit of light on that so people understand that, and also how long the process can be when it comes to medical underwriting.
Okay, guys, medical underwriting can be done for any policy if that is required. And at WealthMax, we are very much clear on that stuff and will provide all the support that is required. Ideally, I can give you a couple of explanations. Medical requirement can be done through nurse screening, depending on the requirement. It can also be with a GPR report, or we can request a client to come for any private hospitals, and that the decision will be taken by the provider. What our consultants will do is we will be on constant touch with the providers, ensuring that the appointments are fixed, convey the message to the clients, and ensure that the clients are available during that period. General medical underwritings can take a month, can take 2 months. There were situations where GPs are not available. It did went for 6 months. Trust me, we will be in this journey with every mile wherever you go, and we will do the best for the clients. Our vision is to provide the best customer service, and we stand to that. And with the founders of this company and with you as IBOs, we will be with you and we will be with your clients to make it faster.
Perfect. So Raja, right now, as you know, we are going through this pandemic, COVID-19. So my next question is, life insurance, will that cover death from COVID-19?
Yes, it do cover. Once the policy is issued, life insurance basically covers natural death, accidental death, terminal illness, and suicide. Of course, suicide with a 1 year exclusion the first year, Terminal illness on the last year, there's an exclusion, but COVID-19 comes under natural death and it is 100% covered.
Perfect. My next question will be, can self-employed person be covered under income protection?
Perfectly, self-employed can be covered under income protection, yes. And we are working with some of the top brands in the market, very respectable brands like Zurich, Royal London, and Vitality, and this definitely covers self-employed under income in income protection pocket. Yeah.
So Raja, what if I have self-employment as well as part-time or full-time job, which is again under, I'm an employee for a company. How will that work, and how will income protection cover be determined? Let's say if I am not able to work for both of them, so I'm not working as self-employed, I'm not working as well under that employment, what will happen in that case?
Okay, in an ideal case, yes, we would consider your P60 as well as we would consider your SA302. We would add up both and we would cover 60% of the gross. And once you get the 60% of gross, there won't be any tax on that and it is completely covered, yes.
Perfect. And Raja, I understand that you're directly authorized by FCA. Now, and I do understand how that will impact our competitiveness. My question is how competitive our prices will be, premium prices will be when you're receiving a customer through NeX Protect.
Okay, to the IBOs team, we do not do loaded premiums. So on the premium front, we are extremely competitive.
Raja, would you please explain, sorry to interrupt, would you please explain loaded premium as well?
Okay. Not to mention any name, there are a good number of companies who would load the premium. For example, if there's a quote for 100 quid, they can load it to 110 pounds and 120 pounds. Okay. When I met the founders, the vision of the founders is very simple. Guys, we need to give the best product to the customers, and that's how we are going to run this legacy. So we follow non-loaded premiums so that there will be no loading on the premium, and that's one of the competitive premiums in the market you will get.
Sure. Now, my next question is, again, a lot of people do understand what beneficiary is, but if you can shed a bit of light on what a beneficiary is, can I have more than one beneficiaries on my policy, as well as can the beneficiary be chosen at the time of purchase of the policy?
Okay, great. Yes, you can have more than one beneficiary. Who is a beneficiary? For example, if it is a life cover and when a claim arises, I want my spouse and my kids to get benefit out of the policy. Okay, and I can always have a right to mention that my spouse should get 50% and my two kids should get 25, and you will be given a chance and a choice to mention that part. Yes.
Raja, I appreciate your time. I was making notes myself just to make sure I educate myself on this, on this NeX Protect brand and the insurance services we are offering. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And thank you for being with us.
Thanks, Asad. We run this business with heart rather than mind. And my commitment to you guys is very simple. We will be with you in every mile in United Kingdom. If that requires any traveling, our team is very dedicated. We have 70 consultants at the moment willing to help out. And any IBOs you require, please drop your requirements through NeX Protect. And we will be addressing it in a 24-hour turnover time. And especially with the founders, Liju has been in insurance industry. I know him since those days. And I know Asad since 2012. Guys, I have watched your videos to get motivation. Working with you is an honor. What we are going to do is build a legacy, and let's build it to the IBOs. Our commitment of 100% will be there on this project. And we are super dedicated. About to see you all. Love you all. Thank you very much.
Raj, I appreciate your time, appreciate your kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have another gentleman on this call. He is also one of the co-founders of WealthMax Financial Advisors Limited, as well as he's a business director. Now, I have a lot of respect for this gentleman is because, first of all, I had to ask him to write all the things down. He is very qualified when it comes to financial services, over 15 years of experience working with Raja to grow this company, as well as he holds qualification for advising to institutions, professional investors, as well as retail investors for direct and pension investments. Now, for those people who understand financial services industry, they understand what that means. So we do have him on this call, and I will request him to share a bit about himself. And I also got a few questions to ask him. And then we have another gentleman on this call He will be sharing some incredible information when it comes to compliance, and make sure that you understand how important it is, NeX Protect being FCA registered and regulated, that we are compliant throughout the process. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome on this virtual stage Mr. Mandeep Singh. Mandeep, over to you if you can share your background with everyone on this call.
Good evening, everyone. Hi, thank you, Asad, for giving me opportunity to share myself with the team. Guys, I have started this company in 2016 along with Raja, and from that journey, we are standing at today around 70 advisors, and we claim ourselves to be one of the largest newly born advisory firm in whole of UK. My experience is more towards, investments, pensions, more towards structuring, inheritance planning for the clients in terms of wills and estate planning for the clients. And I know Asad quite a long time. I've been following Asad on his Instagram, where I see a lot of his photographs over there, and I've seen how people have grown along with Asad. That's where it's a partnership which comes with a pleasure at the moment for me. And I'm thankful to Asad, Liju, and Ahmed for having a partnership with us for all the financial services product which we're offering at the moment. Yeah, over to Asad. Thank you.
Mandeep, myself and two of my partners, we feel equally pleasured working with you. So if you can help me, well, Raja did cover most of the things in detail. I got a few questions on the business operations side. If you can help everyone on this call understand. So what will be the average time for WealthMax to contact the lead which was submitted by an IBO through our NeX Protect website? So if you can share, so what is an average time you will need for you to contact the customer?
Our average time at the moment, as per our standard, is 24 hours. We do contact the client within 24 hours. Our click-to-call ratio at the moment is between 30 minutes. Once the lead has been submitted, if it is in between the working hours, or there is a scheduled call set up by the clients, requested by the clients, it will be within 30 minutes.
Perfect. So again, okay, so it's 24 hours max, but the customer must expect the call within 30 minutes of submitting the lead.
True.
Perfect. Now, can an IBO speak on the behalf of the customer to WealthMax?
Technically, no. As per the regulations, we only speak to the clients because as per the GDPR, and because we are discussing financial as well as the medical details of the client. So we don't allow any IBOs to discuss any client's details.
Perfect. Thank you for that. My next and the last question will be, last but not the least question will be, can the leads be submitted on the weekend? So I do, again, you said 24 hours. If the lead is submitted on Saturday or Sunday, first of all, can they be picked up on Saturday or Sunday? And will your team contact the customer on weekends? Do you work on weekends?
Yes, so we have our support staff. We have our team work on weekends as well. Why we work on weekends, because most of the people are generally free on weekends and they have time to speak on these products. So our team works on weekends, Saturdays as well. And any leads comes on Saturdays, Sundays will be addressed in between the same 24 hours time as well.
Perfect. Hey, Mandeep, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and being with us and sharing some, information with, ourselves, myself, and the team we have, hundreds of people we have on this call. So we appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mandeep. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we do have someone on this call. Again, this is very, very, very important segment of this call. Again, because being FCA regulated, we have to make sure, again, insurance industry is highly regulated, and we have to make sure we are compliant, we follow the rules. And we do have a gentleman on this call. He is right now working with WealthMax Financial Advisors as an external compliance consultant, and as well as he's been in this industry for almost 33 years. And that is incredible. Being in the industry for 33 years, being on the compliance side, and he's also external compliance consultant to WealthMax. So without any further delay, please help me welcome on this virtual stage, Mr. John Downs. So John, over to you.
Good evening, everybody. Many thanks. Sorry if I was slightly behind. I was just sorting out a veterinary visit for 3 dogs. So that's all done and dusted. Yeah, I've actually been in financial services, actually 40 years, which obviously demonstrates my age, I'm afraid, but there you go. IFAC are the compliance support company for WealthMax and obviously also NeX Protect. We are there literally to make sure that everything that happens is compliant under the FCA rules. IFAC itself has been going since 2005. We have 130 odd financial advisors, about 500 companies doing consumer credit. So we're at a fairly good size. Myself, I have been in the industry, say 40 years. I've been an advisor. I've been a T&C officer and director. I've been in compliance. I've worked for half a dozen networks. I've probably advised on and sold everything, so I know all about it. I've also been responsible for a team very similar before with where it's a non-advised process. We had a call center, so a lot of experience there. From the point of view of compliance, we as a company, and specifically myself, have been doing a lot of work with Mandeep and Raja over the last 18 months, 2 years, just to make sure that the process that has been put into place is compliant, is robust, and works not only for WealthMax, but also for anybody introducing as in NeX Protect. It's there to make sure that the process works, that the clients that are being passed over or referred over are going to receive the best service. WealthMax and NeX Protect, in an ideal situation, what we've done is NeX Protect are now what they call an introducer appointed representative to WealthMax, which means that they are registered on the Financial Conduct Authority website as an introducer, which means that everybody can look them up and check their existence, check who they are, and understand that they have that protection from being under the FCA banner. When it comes to life assurance, critical illness, I could talk for hours about statistics, about the fact that people don't understand or don't realize the importance. And I think this is where the arrangement, the agreement, and the business venture between NeX Protect and WealthMax is absolutely second to none. It's there to make sure that the members of the public who may not really understand the importance of protecting themselves are given the chance to have a discussion literally and then put a plan into place. Most people insure everything else. They insure their cars, they insure their houses, they insure their phones. They make sure they have a cup of coffee every day, but they very seldom, or they don't always think about the importance of protecting or insuring themselves for health issues or even, unfortunately, death. So the life assurance industry, the Financial Conduct Authority have made it very clear that they expect, whether it be non-advised or advised, but they expect the non-advised situation, they expect clients to be have a discussion about what they're looking for and then be provided with a suitable illustration and then have a policy put into place. Now, it's important to note that if you're acting as an introducer, that when you introduce business, that is simply and exactly all that you are doing. You are passing over details with the client's agreement to WealthMax for WealthMax to contact those clients and put something into place for them. That could be anything. It could be income protection. It could be family protection. It could be life assurance to protect a mortgage. It could be critical illness to protect a mortgage. It could be business protection. It could be anything. But the process that has been developed within WealthMax over, say, the last sort of 18 months or so is been sort of honed, I would say, to perfection to make sure that clients do get exactly what they've asked for, and more importantly, they understand what they've got. Statistic-wise, people, the majority of claims, for example, for critical illness, happen between the ages of 45 to 49, and then 50 to 64. people probably, what usually happens is that people have a family friend, or they have an associate or a colleague that unfortunately is diagnosed with something, and it suddenly makes them think. And what we wanted to put into effect was a very straightforward, simple process for somebody to be able to be referred over and have that discussion and put something into place. It may not satisfy all their requirements, but it will certainly go some way to putting people's mind at rest, knowing that they have something in place. And the Financial Conduct Authority certainly have a view that some element of cover is certainly a lot better than nothing. So when WealthMax are talking to the client, they have the facilities to arrange income protection for loss of income due to long-term illness or sickness, or if somebody has a total permanent disability. There's all sorts of different things, but the facility is there for WealthMax to literally discuss and just hone down through the discussions with the client as to what they actually need or want, and then put that into place, hopefully at the cheapest cost. But more importantly, they are there to discuss with the client again, if the client wants to review it, update it, amend it, increase it, they can look at that for them and make sure that they're still providing the best cover that they can under the circumstances. And most of it tends to be driven by budget. Now, what we've done is we've made sure that there is a process within WealthMax to make sure that all the consultants that are giving the non-advised process to those clients understand a set process. They have to make sure that the client knows who they are. They have to make sure that the client knows how they're operating, what companies, or if there's a restrict. Everything has been discussed and agreed and put forward into a process for WealthMax. Personally, I work very closely with Mandeep and Raja. We've had lots and lots of meetings. We've had lots of video calls, and it's there to make sure. There is nothing worse than getting it wrong. And once you have it right and it's working correctly, then it's more straightforward to keep it working correctly. And we're always going to be reviewing the process to make sure that if any improvements are needed, those can be implemented again in a compliant manner, because everything you do can or potentially will be scrutinized by the Financial Conduct Authority. So I'm going to just, I've whizzed through that fairly quickly, but what we're trying to do here is present people with an opportunity to not only produce leads or referrals to WealthMax, but you are actually going to be doing members of the public a good and excellent service, because you will be making sure indirectly that they have in place something that they need, and to protect the family, their loved ones. Nobody wants to talk about death. Nobody wants to talk about, being diagnosed with a critical illness or terminal illness, but unfortunately it happens. And if you look at the level of claims that there have been recently, over the recent years, there are literally, in a year, you can have 229,000 claims for whole of life, nearly 17,000 claims for income protection, all protection products, 304,000 claims in 1 year. Okay, statistically, that means that there are a lot of people that haven't had to claim, but it's better to have it in place than not have it in place and then be faced with financial hardship. So I've tried to do that very quickly. Hopefully that's sort of answered any queries people have, but if anybody needs to speak to me about anything else, I am, I believe, available for a bit longer.
Hey, John, so I just have a question. If you can help all the IBOs, understand. So I do understand that we have to make sure we are not advising anyone.
Yep.
We're just passing the information, as you just said. But again, I feel there is a very thin line in between advising and non-advising. How will you, what would you advise IBOs to make sure that they don't find themselves in a position answering any of the questions where they're advising? So how would you make sure that they know that what questions they can't answer, what questions they can answer?
Well, there is a process there with WealthMax that makes it very clear that literally they are just passing over details. They're passing over a name, a contact, whether that be a phone number, mobile or home, and they are literally just explaining that their details will be passed on to WealthMax, and somebody from WealthMax will be contacting them. Essentially, the only question that they might ask is, what are you looking for? And that might literally be, I need some life cover. That's fine. Let me do it, because it's very, as you say, it is very easy to just overstep the mark and start talking about, well, actually, you know, had you thought about income protection? Had you thought about this? But there's nothing to say that the person can't say, look, we're passing your details over to WealthMax. They'll be able to talk to you about everything, all aspects of protection. Let's pass on your details and get them to have a chat with you.
So literally, in simple words, any question, the only way you answer is, that's the exact reason why I'm passing your information to our partners, and their consultants will contact you and will answer all your questions. Am I right in saying that?
It's right in saying that. You just basically make sure that the introducers there, they just step away, and you know, if they want to use the phrase, I'm not able to discuss that, or I can't really answer that, but I'm going to pass you on to somebody who can, that's fine. It's just the question. It's a very thin line, and it's tempting to get into that area, but once you're in there, it's difficult to extricate yourself again, and you can find yourself thinking, well, I can't really say that, or I can't really comment on that. So you just say, look, we're passing you on to WealthMax. They're the people that will be able to sort everything out for you, and they'll be able to answer any questions.
Perfect. John, if you can also help me, you know, if you can answer one more question. So let's say if being an IBO, working with NeX Protect, I spoke to someone and that person said, I already have insurance cover. What do I do in that situation?
In that situation, what you can say is that what WealthMax can do is to just have a look at what they've got. And it might be that we might be able to provide similar or better cover for a better cost. It's no guarantee, but you know, it's worth a chat. It's worth a review of what they already have.
Okay, so there is no problem in any of the IBOs saying that to the customer, that I do understand you have the cover, but I can still pass your details to our partners, WealthMax, just to make sure you have the right level of cover and you're paying the right price for the cover you have.
Basically, the right price is the key one that you need to say, because, and also, you know, it's a again, thin line between advised and non-advised, but you know, there's nothing to say that the client can't still be spoken to by WealthMax, even if they've got existing cover, because they might decide they want to look at something else. And WealthMax just say, well, look, we provide quotes and arrange income protection, whole of life, critical illness, etc., you know, any of that of interest. Now they might be saying, well, actually, I've already got some life cover, but I really want some critical illness, or I've got some critical illness, but I need more, or I don't know whether I can do better or cheaper. So there's nothing to say that the IBO can't just refer it on that basis.
Perfect. So right price does work. And my last, but again, not the least question will be, is if customer, you know, so IBO's FCA logo, I do understand that it's FCA's property. No one can use that. If you can just shed some light on it, that how important it is for IBOs not to promote the regulator.
Yes. The FCA have made it, they issued actually a rule. I can't remember what the rule, what number it is, but they issued a rule that said that their logo is owned by them and can only be used by them. Now, it doesn't stop anybody saying we are regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. There's no problem with that, because that is true. But what you can't do is have a logo on your website. You can't have the FCA logo anywhere they can be seen. You actually have to have express permission, and the FCA don't actually give it. So if you look at any website, including NeX Protect or WealthMax, it explains at the bottom that NeX Protect is an introducer, appointed representative to WealthMax, and that WealthMax is authorized by the Financial Conduct Authority. That is absolutely fine. If people want to look up any details, they can simply go onto the FCA website and they can find out anything they want to find about WealthMax or NeX Protect.
Perfect. So John, again, this will bring another question in my mind. I know I said that was the last question. So let's say being an IBO, I am promoting, because we do allow within our industry of direct sales, we do allow people to use their social media to offer the services they offer through their NeX channel to their friends and family members. Now, people will promote NeX Protect, that, again, this is one of the services they're providing on their social media to their close friends and family members. Yep. And they write on their social media, the NeX Protect is regulated by FCA. But again, according to what you said, what they can't do is they can't use FCA's logo. Is that correct?
Can't use the logo. They can basically, what you do, if you're using social media, the best thing to do is to try to keep it as simple and generic as possible. Okay, so if you want to say, yes, we, if anyone is interested, we have an agreement with whatever, NeX Protect, regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority for all your protection needs. Keep it simple, keep it straightforward. If you try to say too much, you drop into the realms of requiring risk warnings to suddenly appear all over the place. So in essence, anything you promote or talk about, social media or otherwise, keep it simple, keep it straightforward.
Perfect, John. We appreciate your time. Thank you for being on this call. I do know that you had an appointment with WET, but still being on this call and sharing some incredible information with all of us. We really appreciate that.
No problem at all. Many thanks indeed for inviting me on.
Thank you, John. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard from both of the co-founders and the directors of WealthMax Financial Advisors Limited. You also heard from external consultant when it comes to compliance to WealthMax, Mr. John Downs, shared some incredible information with all of us. Now, we will be wrapping this call up today with a video, but I want, again, to remind everyone on this call that tomorrow, 7 p.m., we will be covering the rest of the services, going through all the details through each and every single service we have left. But before we conclude this call, I just want to remind every single one on this call that, again, because we are promoting insurance services, we are introducing customers to our partners, WealthMax Financial Advisors Limited. Again, being in the highly regulated industry, you as an IBO will have to go through a small test, which will again give you the information you need. There will be few questions. Once you pass the test, you will be able to introduce customers through NeX Protect and process the leads. Now, what we are doing is to keep the process simple. We will be accepting the lead from anyone and everyone who is an IBO of NeX, but you can only get the BV allocated once you have completed your test. So it's very important that you remember that. You can process the lead. WealthMax will contact your customer, will help your customer understand what they need, and will provide them the cover and the product and service they are interested in. But for you to receive, for you to have your BV allocated to your business ID, you have to make sure that you have gone through that link, which will be shared with all of you through your control center. And once you have passed your test, that's only when you will receive your BV. So just keep that in mind. And tomorrow, 7 o'clock, we'll be sharing the rest of the services. With this note, thank you very much. Thank you for being on this call. And I cannot wait to see all of you tomorrow, 7 p.m.